Happy Thursday. It's Patrick from Have Cheetah Will View, and welcome to Eight Questions with. This is our only show of the week. We had an illness that took out our Tuesday's guest, Lilia Mortis. We'll try to reschedule her again soon. And we didn't have a show yesterday, so we're back for today. Uh, our today's guest is Rikk Sangre from Underworld Subroxxa. I've been saying it Subroxxa because I see the X, but it's actually say in Spanish, which is Subrosa. So, hey Rikk, how are you, sir? How are you feeling? All right. Of course, good, good. I'm glad to hear that. Feeling yeah, yeah. You're not gonna feel 100% for a while, that's for sure. Hanging in there. Yeah, hanging in there. Um, yeah, just been a really surreal sort of day. But we're here. I'm very happy to be here tonight. I'm pretty excited for the interview. Uh, Rick will be here in about 15 minutes or so. So, of course, I'm going to take this time out to, if you guys can all share it out, that would be awesome. I did the groups already. Me and Hobbs did groups. So, if you want to share this out, sort of like, that's very good. That's actually very impressive. Tomorrow you'll do either do 8 or you'll do 9. So no, that's impressive. Yep, yep. At least as long as you can maintain what you did today, right? Hey, Chadrick, how are you, sir? This is gonna be a good interview for you, since you're a filmmaker. So you're gonna get an idea of how it was like to get your film distributed. Really, man, I need to have that diet. Hell yeah, I need that diet. You need to send me that diet. I take it. I think I'm buying a bicycle on Saturday. When I go up there to get my second shot, I think I'm going to stick around and buy a bicycle. Uh, okay, so you guys already know what's going to happen here while we're waiting for everybody to show up. Uh, Once again, it's our famous calendar. Uh, yeah, well, you know what? I'm probably overdue for that, my friend. I'm probably pre-diabetic already. Let's see. Oh, okay, calendar time. So on the 15th of August, it's the midnight hour, and I don't know what the hell we're doing. I have no idea what we were doing on the 15th. Um, I have no. I know there's going to be Community Bugle. I know we're going to be doing some movie news. But as far as that goes, I have no idea. Um, so I definitely would come. I would definitely come by just to see what the hell that we're doing. Um, I know the 19th, the 29th, we're doing John Hughes night. So I know that's going to happen on the 29th, but I don't know what we're doing on the 15th. On the 6th, on next Tuesday, we have journalist and World War II historian Christopher Buckholtz will be here. I've known Chris for many, many years. He has He has written many books on the air war in Europe during World War II. He has been on many magazines and television programs such as Dogfights. He was also the technical advisor for the movie Red Tails, and he'll be here on the 17th. On the 18th, we have professional publicist Rebecca Mahan, which I'm actually learning a lot from her. I have learned a lot from her, and she'll tell you how to get your name out in the public. Next Thursday, we have a motivational speaker from Texas. Her name is Tammy Smith, and she has quite a story to tell. On the August 22nd, we have Michael Marsatos in. He's done a movie called The Butcher. He's starting a franchise with that. I think they're either filming it or getting ready to wrap it up for the Butcher 2. And there's also Ravage. Hey, how you doing, Brene? All right, all right. I'm getting a few heads in here. I can't wait for you guys to meet Rikk. This is you guys have all known Rikk as a horror community guy. You know, he comes in there, he's full of sunshine. He's really happy-go-lucky. That's who he is. But he's also a very successful businessman. He's got an eye for business, and he's launched. Him and his wife have launched Underworld Subroxxa, and really interested in. You're gonna be really interested in hearing what he has to say. And as a bonus, to the person who asked the best question on this interview, because we're gonna open it up for you guys in the chat. The best question will win a small prize package. I don't know exactly what it'll be, but we'll figure it out. Hey, Phil, how are you, sir? Hey, John. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you guys showing up for Rikk, man. Rikk deserves it. Rick's a great guy, man. I'm really excited for this. I'm really excited for this interview. Yeah, so, and let me tell you the rest of the calendar because that's what I do. On the 24th of August, we're back with singer-songwriter Steve Hartsoe. On the 25th, we have our fellow movie critic. Some of you guys know who this guy is right away. Michael Haberfellner. He's written Research My Trash or Search My Trash for years in different magazines, including Fangoria. He'll be joining us at a special time. That will be at 2:00 on August 25th. Michael actually lives and resides and writes from Austria. So we're going live to Austria. I'm telling you, we are international here on 8 Questions With. We have traveled to England, Australia twice, Australia twice. We're going to Canada. We're going to Canada. So yeah, we've been all over the place. Let's see. And then on my birthday, which is August 26th, and I know all you guys will show up for my birthday. We have actress Karen Cleese will be here. She's one of my favorite superheroes. She was in Mutant X, Young Blades, and Flash Gordon. She'll be here. And Adventures Inc. I love Karen. Karen's one of the most loveliest actresses working. She's done some really fantastic work. And she took time off to raise a family. Now she's back in the acting game. So we'll catch up with her and see how it's going. On the 29th of August, no, I wish. It'd be 57 for me. 57. I'm an old fucker. On the 29th, we have 2 shows. We're doing 2 shows. Oh. Yep. Wow, where am I? Well, this is. I think I froze. Yep, I did. Let me come out and come back in. Damn, I hate this. All right. Sorry, I froze. Sorry, I froze. So thank you, thank you. Um, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that showed up the other day with me and Jennifer. We did a drive that was completely successful. Just awesome. Had an awesome drive. We helped get some folks over to their goals. Um, just can't tell you how much to thank you guys for that. Um, so the 29th, we have two shows. We have two. We have the IFC Midnight Nights are back for our third show. That'll be me, Ben from Cadaver Club, and Night and Coriander from the Night Watch Zone. We will be on Ben's channel on the 29th, and we are watching and talking about the Devil's Candy. And then on the 29th, here on my channel is John Hughes Night, and we have one of the special guests in the house already, and that is Fairy Dust. Fairy Dust, Weep the Wild Winds is going to join us as we talk John Hughes movies. We're going to do our top 10 favorite John Hughes movies. We might have one more guest. We're working on it. We'll see what we can do. And then the last show of August is Richard Rossi and actress Rebecca Holden. Some of you who are my age, probably nobody here, will remember Rebecca Holden. She was one of the stars of Knight Rider. She played one of the mechanics. So, among other roles. Yeah. So that's it. That's what we got in August. September's rolling around. I will be announcing September dates and guests starting next week. So I'm really happy to, like I said, film distribution is something that many of us collectors we don't really give two thoughts about. We deal with Severin or a Arrow or 88 Films or a Wild Eye or a Raven Banner, IOC Midnight, A24. A lot of those are just distribution companies. They're not full studios, which means they don't make their movies. What they do is they get movies from different places, from different filmmakers. And here goes our guest. Oh gosh. I might have to send this to my Facebook. One second. I think I sent it to my Facebook yesterday. Anyway. Oh, maybe I didn't. Oh, I didn't. Yeah. Let me see. We're just having once again we're having our fun technical. So he'll be here 1 second. He had to come back through a different way. So a lot of film distribution companies, what they do is they go around and they look for movies. They're always on the look for movies. They go to festivals. A lot of times, that's what festivals are really good for. Is that companies go around and they look for movies so they can sell. Um, and for Underworld Subroxxa is no different. Um, they look for films that they want to bring into their company and be able to push it to their audience. Um, of course, Underworld Subroxxa has a unique clientele, um, but it's still generally the same game. There he is. Booyah!
Cheetah.
Rick!
How's it going? How's it
Yeah,
going?
man. We got some heads in the house for you tonight. Yep. I was just talking over what a film distribution company does. But you know what? I'm going to leave that up to you to talk about a little bit later, so you could explain the ins and outs of it. Because there's some people in our chat here that are filmmakers, and we do have some that pop through, so we can talk about that a little later. But like I said, this is people have never seen you before, like in this setting. I'm totally hyped.
um,
Welcome to the show, and thank you so much for coming and agreeing to do this.
all right, no problem, man. Thanks for having me, man. Or thanks for having us. I can't see the chat. I don't know how to fix that, but
Do you have your do you have a desktop or a laptop?
oh yeah, I'd have to go get that.
Yeah, you want to do that so you can see
Yeah,
the chat?
yeah. Give me a few minutes so I can get the laptop, and I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
yeah, no problem. I'll keep them talking.
Alrighty.
Yeah, so because Rick's got to be able to look at who's going to ask the best question, because he's going to be the one that's going to decide which one of you guys did the best question, and then yeah, and someone's going to win a prize. Let's see. So how's everybody? Okay, so I can't talk about the film distro anymore, so because I'm going to leave it up to Rick to talk about it. But you guys can talk about your day. Um, you guys enjoying your day? We had thunderstorms yesterday. We had um, we had thunderstorms over our house for about 3 to 4 hours last night, and they had three of the loudest cracks of thunder I've ever heard. Um, it seemed like the thunder walked up to my house, knocked on my door, waited till I opened it, and then cracked right there in front of my face. It was so damn loud. Hey Larry, welcome. Rick is gonna go ahead and set up his laptop. He wants to be able to see the chat, so we're gonna give him a few minutes so he's able to set that up, and then we'll get this party going. Yeah, but whew, okay, running lines. Chat is running lines. Awesome. Martin had his a drawing today. Anthropomanic Fiend had his drawing today. Oh, wait a minute. I'm supposed to be talking about Cat Stick Blues. Do you want me to talk about that now, Hobbs, or you want me to wait till Rick gets here? Because I watched Cat Stick Blues today, the Wild Eye movie. I think you guys are going to be a little bit surprised by what I said about it. Um, let's see. I really liked it. I thought it had a surprising amount of heart to it. Um, Yeah, it has some heart to it. It was really interesting. I thought the ending was one of the best I've seen in a Wild Eye movie. Um, all I can say is Australia knows how to make horror movies. I have not seen a lot of Australian horror movies. I'll be honest with you. I mean, if you really think about it, other than just a handful, you don't really, Australia's not really a place we hear a lot about horror. Exploitation movies from back in the 70s, early 80s, yes. But as far as actual straight out horror movies, not too many. And Strawberry Chocolate Vanilla was one, and Castic Blues is another one, but they both had a lot of heart to it. It wasn't, it has some emotion to it. I was like, wow, this is way better than I thought. And it wasn't as gory either. Um, I mean, it's somewhat disturbing. Um, it was somewhat a little disturbing. Yeah, I mean, some, obviously, but not overwhelmingly so. Not like, not really bad. I liked it. I thought it was a good movie. I like the mask. I like the mask. I thought the mask was really well done. So yeah, I would recommend it. I'll be doing a review of it too. Uh, I wouldn't. I know I watched somebody else's review today, and they mentioned they thought it was a dark comedy. Uh, I really didn't see that too much. I didn't see the real comedy of it. Um, oh, but yeah, I thought it was a lot of fun. Um, so yeah. Now I expect actually I expect Clownado to be a lot worse. I expect Clownado to be a lot more gorier, a lot more over the top, a lot more crazier. It's Todd Sheets after all, so I'm expecting that. But it'll be good to see our friend Douglas Epps. Um, it'll be good to see him back on the screen. It's be my second time I watched him act after Bone Hill Road, so I'm looking forward to seeing him tear up this big screen again. Well, yeah, they sort of, that was sort of played so broadly, Hobbs. I mean, it was a little too broad. That's what made it. And he's doing it all for a cat. I mean, I thought that was really, there's a lot of cats in this movie. So, I mean, you got to consider that too. Uh, let's see. Let me see if I can bring up some of you guys might have missed this. Let me see. I want to show you guys the interview that we did with Kelly Thompson. Um, I definitely think you guys should need to check that out. That was a great interview we had last Sunday. We had a little bit of technical problems at the end of it, but yeah. Here's our interview with Kelly Thompson that we did on the last. Oh, uh-oh. Uh, I think he tried to come back on. Oh, there you are. There you are.
Man, I am sorry about the technical difficulties.
No problem.
All right. Well, I tried to get it started on the. What is it? Is this on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Let me.
So if you go to my channel, have Cheetah will view, you will be able to. It's just like go inside the Super Slash Bros.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. You're just on screen. That's all. So
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So let me go ahead and find Cheetah. I know you're subbed to me too, right? So what's going on tonight, man? What's everybody doing?
yeah, sheesh. I'm just thinking about just we were just talking about Cat Sick Blues. I think I shocked the chat when I said that I really liked it. I thought it had a surprisingly amount of heart to it. Um, I wasn't over it was a little crazy, but I've seen worse. And and,
Yeah.
and unlike American Scarecrow, it says American Scarecrow, and then it had no fucking Scarecrow in it. At least with Cat Sick Blues, it had cats in it. Unlike American Scarecrow.
Let me mute this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go.
Yeah. Yeah. Just use your phone for us, and then mute your laptop.
Yeah, we got it now. All right, man. So what's up, Cheetah? How's it going? What's
Oh,
going on,
oh,
everybody?
yep. Everybody's here. They've been really patient. All right. So, you know what? Before we go back into strictly into the business, because I do want to backtrack with you, though, Rick, before we get into straight into that, because I think your past takes us to your present. So, what I want to do is I want to go back to when you were, when you were just a young Rick, and like, how did you get into, how did you discover movies, and what was some of the first movies that you saw?
Oh man, well, we can go with the movies. Shit. Uh, like how far back do you want to go? Like to childhood or?
Yeah, and we obviously what you watched when you were younger shaped with what you watch today, right?
Okay. Well,
And we
excuse me. I'm more of a I started out with martial arts and the action films really, and some exploitation stuff, you know. And growing up, they sprinkled like Maniac onto me and a few other things just before dawn and stuff like that. And of course, Friday the 13th was out there, but that I don't know. When I went to the video stores and stuff, I'd look for there wasn't like an extreme section. It was all horror. So everything back in like in the 80s, it was just in the horror section, everything. Like everything now that might be considered extreme from back then was just regular horror, you know. So everything was just there in the damn in the horror section, but I was more really into the martial arts and the action films until I got older. It wasn't until I got older that I was into the, extra stuff, you know?
so
So,
you were more into the like, were you more into Bruce Lee, or were you more into like the canon film sort of things? I mean,
yeah, Bruce
but
Lee and the greats. I would watch some of the kung fu, like the afternoon 12 o'clock kung fu that would come out on Saturdays. Uh, yeah, I would watch those, but they weren't my thing. Like I got more into the '90s martial arts with the Imperial. It was an Imperial video company which released like Billy Blanks and Lauren Avedon and Cynthia Rothrock and stuff like that. So I was really into those.
man,
And
Billy Blank, man, he was hot there for a minute. I
oh
mean, he was
yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
But
definitely.
but you have to admit though, of all the martial artists, like all the good guy martial artists, nobody got hit more than Billy Blanks did. You go
Uh,
back and watch Billy Blank. You go back and watch him, dude. That guy was getting tagged all the time.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
he'd be throwing a punch or kick, and he'd be getting the same shit back. It was like, dude, you're supposed to be like the hero here. You're supposed to be launching like 10 shots for every one you take. And it's
like
like, man, he was getting his ass whipped a lot on his
oh
movie.
yeah, like on King of the Kickboxers, that was a good one right there with him and Lauren Avedon.
Man, you don't hear about those guys very much anymore, do we?
I love that shit, man. Blood Brothers and No Retreat, No Surrender 2 and 3 and all the, stuff like that, man. That's
Oh,
what I was really into that, and I started, like Return of the what is that? Return of the Living Dead, stuff like that, because it was out there, everybody was watching it, so of course I would fall across that, but they weren't my favorites. Like I wasn't so passionate about horror movies as I was like with martial arts and action. I was there for the Commandos and the Rockies and the Cobras and stuff like that, all the Sylvester movies, Van Damme movies, stuff like that. The early Steven Seagals.
so what? I mean, were you when you were younger? Were you also a reader? Did you read a lot of action books?
No,
No.
no, no, no. I was very much into guns
And the
and
what?
into guns. So
Okay.
I liked, a lot of shooting movies and stuff. So, but yeah, growing up, it was different. I wasn't passionate about horror like I am now or the extreme genre, but, it is what it is. I know some stuff, I don't know everything. I consider myself like a rookie collector of the extreme stuff, you know. I still haven't made it to the top tier, boys. There's some guys that really have some crazy collections, man. You know,
Agreed. What was the first movie? What was the first horror movie that really stuck with you?
uh, I'd have to say Maniac.
Oh man, Joe Spinelli and Tom Savini. Oh man, that's a crazy movie.
That's why that's like my favorite '80s horror. Like that one right there. I'm not too fond of the early stuff, but that's because I haven't watched too many of them, and I didn't grow up watching it, so it's
Do
just.
you know what that Maniac was based on, though? Do you know it was based on a true story?
I don't really go deep into facts on too many of the movies. I just watch them, and if I like them, I, keep them on the shelf or whatever. But no, as far as the facts, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you know.
Oh, I grew up during they call it the Summer of Sam.
Yeah,
Uh,
oh yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, it
definitely.
was the son of Sam.
Yeah.
So they based that movie off of him. And yeah, I remember seeing that at the drive-in. I went to the drive-in and saw Maniac.
Oh,
That
okay, okay.
that movie's bonkers, man. That the scene where he jumps on the car and he shoots those guys through the windshield. It's just, I think he shoots Tom Savini through the windshield. And holy shit, that's just all. Even today, 40 years ago, that scene is just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, it's a great film, man. It's really good.
So that's after you saw Maniac, you're going like, you know, Chuck's all right, but I'm sort of digging this shit,
Yeah,
right?
but
Is that what you
and
was
then
that you're thinking, okay, let me go over there to let me get into some more horror. So so what was your next step?
I'd say, of course, I mentioned Just Before Dawn, but also Texas Chainsaw Massacre was one that they showed me at a young age. So that one also stuck with me, which makes Leatherface my favorite icon. You know,
Now, how old were you when you saw Texas Chainsaw?
I would have to say I was about 6.
Damn, I knew you were gonna when the way you said it, I knew you had to be young. 6 years old. That shit didn't give you nightmares, Rick?
Nah, because the people that showed me these movies were always telling me that this stuff isn't real. It's like,
All right.
they always told me that. So, it got difficult for me when I started seeing these other killers that just wouldn't die and they just had superpowers. And that's where, like, I kind of strayed away from all that stuff. I'm more into like a serial killer or somebody that can die, somebody that gets,
You know what? Me too. Uh,
somebody that gets messed up in the process of messing other people up. You know what I'm saying? So,
I'm with you, man. You know, that's supernatural killer shit. That loses me. It really does. It loses me. It's like, what's the point? What's the point of watching Unstoppable Michael or Unstoppable Jason? It's like you already know what's going to happen.
yeah.
But at least when you know that they can be hurt and they can be killed, and they can be stopped. It makes the movie a hell of a lot more suspenseful.
Oh yeah,
You
definitely.
know. Uh, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can relate more to that kind of movie, to where everybody has a chance. But when here comes Freddy Krueger, and it's like, yeah, this is an event of kills, but he can't be stopped. So what's the point? It's like, oh, okay, he's just gonna kill another 10 people. On to the next movie. But if you put together someone like a Son of Sam character who
Oh
can,
yeah.
then or Texas Chainsaw Massacre, something like that. I'm with you. I'm
Right.
with you. I like it just makes it more suspenseful for me. And it is like I watched the movie recently. I'm not sure if you heard of this or not. It was called Clown Town. Hob sent it to me. I
Yeah,
gotta I
I
gotta
think
tell
I
you,
have
Rick,
it.
did you see it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. That's something else on the shelf that I have not watched.
That movie is bonkers. That movie's bonkers, man. Let me tell you, the people that were being chased, they gave as good as they get. I tell you, it was really a cool movie in that respect. It was like, damn, man, here's all these mass clown killers and shit, and most of the time it's like, okay, everybody's gonna get killed, and it wasn't like that at all. They were getting waxed themselves, and it made the movie just that much more suspenseful, more exciting. You're
I'm
sitting at
gonna
the edge of your seat, going like, or will they make it? And it was a lot of fun. But now you're 6 years old. Now for sure. Now you're watching Leatherface. So what's the next evolution for you? I mean,
Oh
when did,
man, it
when did
was
you
a
start?
mixture of everything, like just everything. Like it would just went, like I said, from exploitation, Dolomites to the Fritz, the cats and stuff like that. Um it was a mixture of horror, action, mostly action and martial arts, you know, comedy, of course, Porky's and stuff like that.
Right.
All the Revenge of the Nerds flicks and the the good old, movies that didn't give a shit, like, that were just outright and just, damn, this is what it is, laugh or be offended, shit, but back then nobody was offended like they are now, though.
Oh, everybody gets their panties in a bunch now, don't
I
they?
don't know, I don't know what happened to this world, Cheetah. It
I
went,
don't know either.
it's super sensitive and extra defensive. I don't
Yeah,
understand it. But
I,
oh well.
I don't get it either. It's like, I don't get it either. I don't. It's like, just I can understand a little bit of it, but not all of it. It's like, the saddest thing I hear now is the saddest thing I hear now when it comes down to movies is when I hear someone say, "Well, that couldn't get made today," you know,
Yeah.
and that's sad. You know, like on Night Watch Stone, he was doing a look at Blazing Saddles, and they were sitting there going, like, "Well, I don't know if that could be made today,"
Mm.
because now, back in the day, even in the exploitation movies, right? Man, I mean, you heard, I was watching Sanford and Son, and all of a sudden there's a scene where this one guy calls another white guy a honky, and he types it like he says honky like 4 or 5 times. I'm going like, oh Jesus, well you couldn't do that today because some Karen or some Kim will get her panties up in a bind because he said the word honky on the TV, and then I have to throw a march and protest and throw a Me Too up there. It's like, come on, you know?
But you know what, Cheetah? That's what's great about the underground movies, man. They do what the fuck they want,
Yeah.
and they're awesome. You know what I'm saying? They don't all have the budget to do the mainstream shit, but who gives a shit? If it's great, it's great. And
I mean, would you safe to say that the first true underground movies? I mean, even though they were seen in a mainstream theater, but the real underground movies, I would say, was probably black exploitation.
yeah, shit.
I
Why
mean,
not?
is that fair to say? I mean,
Yeah.
I just that's how I see it. I mean, I don't know. I don't. What do the underground? What does the underground? What do you think is like the first real 3 or 4 movies that were like underground that were subversive and people had never heard of other than through whispers.
Whoa. Oh man. Like underground, true underground films, right? Like shit. I guess we can talk about something like this.
Let's see if
This
uh,
is August Underground.
okay.
He did this thing so well that it's so sought after right now. And it's like it's got a super cult following. Um Anywhere you go and ask about some extreme movies, they're gonna mention August Underground, you know? So that one was like really that's like one of the superior ones in the extreme world.
Right.
But
What, what was your first movie that you bought for yourself? For, like you went out to the store and you bought with your own money.
oh
You remember that?
oh man, I can't even remember that. Oh no. Sheesh. Cause we go back to like sound waves and what was it? Old school Sam Goodies and
Mm.
were the Hastings and stuff like that. So sheesh, or even mom and pop's record shop
Oh
sometimes had
yeah.
movies.
Now you
So
mentioned you were a musician. You came from a musician background. So do you think when as you grew as a musician, did you think that influenced on what you watched?
uh no, not really. You know, um, let me see, because like even by time during the time I was doing a lot of the music, we always stayed on like the urban movies, the dope movies, the gangster movies, all the greats, from Scarface to Casino to all those movies. That's and then a few horror movies when I was laying back, chilling after recording or doing something, shows or whatever. We just chill out and just watch a movie.
Right.
So it was always a mix because there was always over 10 people in the same room when we would chill out and relax somewhere while doing the music because you always got to have your people around.
Right.
So
Nope. Get it.
so yeah, it was always a party watching movies. And watching the internet stuff when that was really popular at the time, all that weird internet shit, all that gross shit, you know, we'd sit around and watch that like back
Yeah.
in maybe '06, '05, around that time. There was a
Yeah.
lot there was a lot of craziness on the internet,
There
you know.
really was. I think I saw my first extreme site about that time. I'm trying to remember what it was called. It was like the first one I ever saw was like totally bonkers. And I don't know. Now I'm gonna know what it is once we get off the air. But I know what my first extreme site was, and it was just like, holy crow, this guy is crazy for putting this shit up here.
Hmm.
I think his website only lasted like 18 months though, and then I think he got pulled down, or
Yeah.
he just couldn't pay for the domain name anymore. But holy crow. Um, so now you're now as a musician, you that was your first taste of business though, right?
Um, well, no, like before that, before I started doing that a lot, I didn't really take into music like really seriously until like maybe 2000, around 2000. That's when I took off with started doing music. But before then, I was running video stores and stuff like that.
Okay.
So, yeah, so like maybe the 90s, say around 94, 95, I started doing business with some guys that, they had a chain of small family video stores in Houston. So I did that for a few years.
What kind of music did you and your band play?
Uh, well, it's all rap music, underground rap music, street music, stuff like that. You can hear some of that on my channel. There's some in there.
Okay,
I decided to share a little bit on there, but I,
cool.
you know,
We'll throw a link down to a couple of your tunes on the description box, and I'll also be throwing Rick's information on the description box, so you guys can all go and connect with him and check out his company's website. You can follow him on Instagram. I'll have all that stuff for you guys after the show. All right, so now here you are. You're in this rap band. So, but I'm talking about business though. I'm talking about like you're making money for your band. You were telling me yesterday that you are. Is that a chicken foot? Is that a chicken?
no, that's one of
We
the
we we
major.
we we're that's an impressive foot, but we seen someone actually chew live chicken feet on the show.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we had someone actually eat chicken feet on the midnight hour.
well,
Yeah, that we're hardcore like that. Tell them, Hobbs. Um, so here you are. Like I said, you're making now you're telling me yesterday during the pre-show you were selling your music out of the back of your car. Now
oh
I
yeah,
know a lot of artists that did that.
oh yeah. That's like that was the thing to do if you were doing it.
I think
It,
still
any,
people still
anything
do
you did, if you had music, pretty much anything. If you were just like a local guy trying to make some kind of money, the trunk was your best friend back in those days because we didn't use the internet like it's used today. We had to do hand to hand. We had to actually walk up to the people, and some of them didn't like it. You know,
that.
but that's just how you make your sales. It's like I looked at it like going door to door sometimes. So you just got to knock on the doors. If they open and talk to you, then there you go. There's your shot. You
Yeah,
know, make a sale. So yeah, man, and it was way different. It was fun too, man. You go hand to hand. You don't know who you run across. Do
putting
stuff
up
like that.
flyers, passing out flyers to your show and shit.
Oh
Just
yeah,
you going to
yeah.
other shows, bigger shows, and standing there and getting inside the club that not the club that you were playing at, but the club across the street from where you're playing at. Going inside that club and passing out your flyers. Oh,
Yeah,
that was yeah.
it's
Nothing
fun.
nothing
It was
club owners
fun.
love more than that.
We had a lot of fun, man. But you just outgrow certain things sometimes. You know.
So, what did you decide to, when did you, I mean, do you still perform? You still play out, or you
Oh
just,
no, no, not at all, man. I
well,
I like to stay away from big crowded areas now.
oh,
You
yeah,
know,
yep,
no, I haven't messed with music like that like in a long time, man. It's been a long time. I think the last show that I ever did was maybe 7 years ago, maybe.
yeah.
Oh,
I was telling my friend Jimmy, I was telling him, him and I worked together, and I was telling him on our interview that like after a while, man, him and I, we'd actually would we would actually stand outside for our shows.
yeah.
We would get the show running, and then him and I would actually kick it outside. Everybody else is inside, and they're going like, and people would be coming out there going like, "Are you guys are missing the show? You guys are missing the show?" We're going like, "Trust me, we've seen in Jimmy's case, he's seen thousands. I've seen hundreds. Missing one ain't gonna. So I get that. I get that. Okay, so now you basically are now you're not doing music. So now here it is in the early 2000s. Where did you get the idea of doing Underworld Subroxxa?
Well, that's something that we worked on like early. Like it's been maybe 6 years, I think. I think yeah, it's been about 6 years that we had thought about. We had to come up with the name and come up with the idea, and it just took us a long. Well, it took us a while to get everything perfect, like all the way straight, everything protected. Domains, get your idea straight, know what you want to do. Find some.
Now,
It was.
what does that entail? Because a lot of people don't quite understand exactly how much work is involved in that. Like, what did
Oh,
you? I
it's.
mean, it just does. You just don't roll out of bed and that happens. So, could you talk to us a little bit more? Like, did you talk to other film companies? Did you talk to? I mean, I mean, did you just have roundtables? I mean, how did you just?
All right. Well, look. First of all, it wasn't something that happened like overnight.
Yeah,
We worked at it. We never quit our day jobs. We It was something. It took a while because it was kind of like on the back burner for a while until we finally got it up and running, up and rolling. Now we have it pretty much in the forefront. But yeah, man, it takes time. It takes time. Like unless you got big bank and you don't have nothing else to do with yourself, drop your money in there, make your calls, and do what you do. You basically got to hunt your way around. You got to hunt for people that do what you're thinking of doing in your business. So
so why that was happening though, I mean, obviously from when you were basically left music, that's when your love for the extreme for the extreme films started taking over. And was a part of it driven because finding movies like that was really hard?
back then it wasn't too hard. I was just overlooking a lot of stuff because I
Mhm.
really wasn't into the extreme stuff until I started watching it more and more. You know, so I think one of the first splatterific movies that I ever saw, like really splattery, they was what you call it, Dead Alive. And
Right.
that took it on to other stuff because that where I picked that movie up in that same section was American Guinea Pig and stuff like that. So it went on from there. Like, just go stop by the store and pick up a different movie from that same section every now and then. You know.
I'm trying to remember. I don't really, I mean, maybe you would know this. I mean, I don't remember this when I used to go to Blockbuster, but I don't remember seeing those types of movies at Blockbusters. Were they once carried there and then
Oh
they were
yeah, like there wasn't no what how can I say, there wasn't any barriers or nothing like, oh, this is worse than this, so you'd have to go over here to get that. It was all, like I said earlier, it was all horror, like everything back in the day. Then they started separating things, so it got weird. Like Your Faces of Death movies were now in a special interest section.
Right, right.
You
That
know,
was the first extreme I think I remember seeing.
yeah,
That was the first extreme films I remember seeing.
and I didn't see it as an extreme film back then. I don't know where that title came from. You know, myself, I'm like I said, I'm kind of a rookie to the extreme world. I just done so much research on it. I just kind of know a little bit. I don't know much, but yeah, man, it's what
Well,
can I say?
I saw the Faces of Death films first, but
Yeah,
they were sort of presented sort of like documentaries more. You know,
yeah,
they weren't movies per se. They come across as more as documentaries. The first
yeah,
extreme horror movie that I probably saw, and that was like that was like Stop Sign, and that was I Spit on Your Grave.
yeah,
Yeah, that was the first time I saw that, and I'm going like, yeah, okay, I reached my limit.
yeah. Because see, even back in the day, that wasn't considered anything else but a horror movie.
Yeah,
You know,
no.
so I don't know, man. It's
But
what's
that was, you know, that,
fair.
I mean, that was that. You're right. It wasn't considered a extreme horror film back then. I mean, hell, it was covered in all the the magazines. You know, it was
Yeah.
covered in
So
Fangoria and whatever else was covered out there. I mean, Camille Keaton was doing interviews and whatnot. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, you could go inside any rental place and rent it. It was no biggie. I just think the reputation later on caught up to it and made it into an extreme title.
yeah.
Um, the first company that I ever heard of, as far as the company goes, like I've heard, like I never heard of any other company. The first company that I remember, maybe you remember this too, was Brain Damage.
Oh yeah.
That was my first. They sent me. They were sending me movies to review.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
They contacted me in this is this is like 2001, 2002 maybe, and they asked me if I wanted to review a movie. I said okay, and it was a woman. It was a woman. Called me up and says I'm sending you a package to review. And the movie that I reviewed was the movie called Chaos. And I remember watching that movie and I was just fucking disgusted. I was disgusted. I called her back up. I said, "Did you watch this?" No. Well, you know what? You need to watch what you before you send it out. Highly recommend you watch what you before you send it out. Um, yeah, that movie right there was just. I know you like extreme, Rick, but that movie was terrible,
Is that
absolutely
is
vile.
is that the one that I posted the other day?
I think you posted something like that, and I told you we would talk about that because I'm not. I mean, I don't watch a lot of extreme horror. I mean, I'm not really. I mean, do I have any in my collection? Probably not. I mean, if you walked over here and looked at what I had, you would sit there and say, "No, you don't have anything." Um, I've seen it. I've seen a couple like Chaos, um, and it was like holy crow.
Let me
But
see. Oh, was it this one?
yes,
This is the one I have.
yeah, that's the one. That's the one with one with Kevin Cage in it.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The director is just a walking pile of poo.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
um, Phil says, yeah. Just check out. Let me ask this in the chat. Let's get this going here for uh to everybody in the chat. List your most extreme movie in your collection. What do you consider the most extreme movie that you personally own?
Yeah.
Not that
Let's see
you
what's
watch, not that you watch, but I want to know what's the most personal, what's the most extreme horror that you personally own in your collection. Um, Phil mentions that he owns Chaos. Uh, Mr. Dan Horror, Chaos is pretty gross, and a ripoff of Last House on the Left.
Yeah, I've
Um,
heard that. I've heard people say that.
yeah, Sage Stallone was in that too. I just remember Kevin Gage was in it, and um, oh, See, Larry D mentions a Serbian film. That's always a good one. I think that's probably the most stylish of the extreme horror films. I mean, the most publicly accepted of them. I mean, a Serbian film. I mean, everybody talks about it. It's almost like like Human Centipede. I mentioned the
But
Centipede. I mean, people know about that movie now. It's talked about so much that it's no longer. I would consider it underground. I would consider it extreme, but it's above ground, right?
yeah,
Would you consider the Human Centipede extreme anymore, or no?
I I have it like in the lower tier of extreme.
Okay,
You know, um, oh, Larry D's talking about Headless. Headless is actually my favorite extreme horror film.
okay.
Headless, to me, Headless is like the most complete extreme horror film. It is it's like a homage to 80s. It's got its cheese, it's got its little acting problems, it's got its sleaze in it, plenty of sleaze, and it's got a whole lot of gore in the right places, you know? And damn, that movie's perfect, man. Like for real. Like some people don't like it, you know, a lot of people talk bad about it, but I like the damn movie, you know? And I just think it's one of the most perfect extreme horror films, you know, out there.
So when you obviously you must have been a regular on boards back. Remember those in the early 2000s? Everybody's on boards, message boards. Um, so you must have known. You must have got it. You must have got it a vibe early that, and plus working at the video store, you must have got like a sort of like a heads up early that things were changing. You know, extreme horror was slowly being pushed down into that underground status. And did you think that, hey, you know what? If they're going to push it underground and make it hard for people to get, there's opportunity there. Because I mean, like you said, you talked about it for 6 years, so you must have talked to a lot of other fans about it, like how hard it was getting, to find it and actually get it.
Well, as you come across like doing the social thing and all that, of course you're gonna meet people that like the same thing you do
Uh-huh.
or know more about the things that you like, you know? So it's a matter of learning, man, and meeting people and you know, it's like I didn't know everything, so I came in and I learned. And once I seen somebody with a certain movie, I looked it up, did research, found others, and it went on from there. It's like a damn, what do you call that? A rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, yep. Once you found it, you went down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
Um,
it's never ending, man. It's never ending.
so what kind of things in order before you launched your business? Did you have any training in running a business? Like formal training. Did you go to school for it, or did you just apply your experience from your music career?
No, just shit. Like I mean, we've been into business for so long, doing so many other things. Like uh I guess like any kind of business would take people skills and just if you're good with people, you can pretty much be good with the business, you know. So it just came hand to hand. It's like I can't say it's just like another business because it's totally different now. You know, it's like
Yeah.
we're dealing with directors, we're dealing with other companies, you know. So you know, we just yeah.
I just want to mention a couple other extremes that people mentioned. Phil mentioned Irreversible by Gaspar Noé. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty.
that's
Um,
that one's okay. I mean, there's a couple of scenes that are cool,
yeah,
you know,
but
but
I mean, for a mainstream movie, it's not too bad
for what?
for a mainstream movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's pretty cool. It's pretty
See,
cool.
um, let's see. Fairy Dust says she doesn't have any extreme horror films. Larry D mentioned Cannibal Holocaust is extreme because of the animal cruelty scenes only.
Yeah, that's it.
Um, but Fairy Dust says her 72-year-old aunt May, she's into horror gore. Hell yeah.
That's the way it is,
Oh, I
man.
think I think we just got you a customer for Underworld Subroxxa. All
Yeah.
right. So now okay. So now you said you worked on it for six years. You got your blueprint down. You know what you're going to do. How did you implement your company? How did you get it going?
Well, we got it going by finally just having all the ideas straight. But you know what? I have the other half of us only here, and I'm gonna let her answer that question for you. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna introduce you to this is the brain of the company.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Hi.
I love the mask too. Hell yeah.
So
Hi. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. I'm Patrick.
Indy, nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you. Your husband's an outstanding human being.
I
Oh,
believe the same.
uh,
So,
Uh,
I mean, as far as the questions you have, I mean, I think it's a huge process to start a company. So, a lot of times people think that you can just buy some product and start selling it, and you can. You can if you want.
yeah.
But if you are trying to put together something that is a legitimate business, you want to get to the point where you're paying taxes and you're doing building something that hopefully will be generational, then you do the right things by setting it up through all the correct government agencies, getting everything set up, whether it be a sole proprietorship or an LLC or something like that. So once we got to the point that we were like, okay, this is serious, we're going to take this serious, we're going to do this, that's when we started looking into the back end of what makes a business a legitimate business. So at that point, that's where I step in and I'm doing all of the back end work of actually putting together a company that we can call a company that will allow us to do the things that we need to do to purchase the way we need to purchase. And that's part of the main focus at the beginning.
Okay.
no,
So now okay. So now you got it off and running. Uh, how long did it actually take? How long did it go take you to from putting it together to like? Did you do a convention first? Did you do a website first? How did you go around starting meeting different? Did you meet other film distributorships, other filmmakers?
A lot of research. So I started by just doing research and kind of getting to know what it meant to be in this industry, not just as a consumer, but as an owner of a company. So once you get to the point where you're kind of crossing that threshold, right? So you're now trying to say, hey, I need to find product. How do I find it? You start to find in your own collection names. So you got to start looking. You got to do a bunch of research and start talking to people. And that's kind of how it happened. It's just like you said, you have to be a people person. You need to build relationships. And as you build those relationships, then they will blossom eventually into business. But it's definitely not an overnight thing because, as everyone knows, any relationship takes time. So
Yeah.
right now we are still in that process. I mean, we're still learning, we're still growing, and we feel like this is just the beginning, but it's a good, solid foundation that we have.
Now, because I didn't realize I didn't realize that Rikk had actually ran a business until I saw him at a convention, and then I thought, well, how did he do that, and how did he keep the company going during the pandemic? Because I thought, well, was this a company brand new to him? How long has he actually been out there doing this? Because I'm thinking, how the hell do you live? How do you survive during the pandemic?
Yeah.
Um, so
priorities, man.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the main thing. You really have to know what you're looking at. I'm big on actually taking the time to really get to know what your finances are, and that's something that's important with any business. I mean, you have to understand what you're doing in your household, and that takes a lot of work and a lot of dedication. So you have to make sure that you're balancing properly, and I think that that's part of uh, the thing that's kept us going. And we're new still. Um, it seems like we sprouted overnight, and it kind of seems like that because we worked on the back end for a long time. But um, when we were ready, we knew that it was time. And so the convention that you saw was actually our first.
Okay, so
Aside from that,
I had a
you know,
feeling.
yeah, and we had a lot of fun. It was a great experience. We met a lot of people, and we could see at this point we can see kind of like where we're gonna head after this. So what's the future of our company? So we're gonna continue hopefully to do those and other things. And that's just kind of where we're at.
Do you personally feel that extreme horror, underground extreme horror, will be enough to keep the company afloat, or do you plan to diversify a little bit and
We
maybe?
will diversify, I believe, in the future, but I can't tell you in what avenue we'll take it. I do believe that Extreme has been around for a long time and that I think it'll continue to be around. I mean, we all remember the websites and watching, videos from all over the place where some were fake, some were real. I mean, it was like, what was it, rotten.com, I think, and things like that. You remember some of the other ones?
Yeah,
That's the first.
Cheetah
That
mode.
was the site I was trying to think of. That's the first one I remember watching.
Yeah,
Rotten.com. That guy was crazy.
myself as well. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's not new. I think it's newer to a lot of people because it just started becoming a subject. So, prior to this, it was just people in their house searching for shit we shouldn't be searching for, and just like enjoying it or not enjoying it or getting shocked or whatever the value was, right? So,
Right.
in this case, we're now in a situation where social media and just the connection we have as far as online, the connection is much deeper than it was back in the day. I mean, if you think about it, back in the day, there wasn't even that many people that had internet in their homes. And now we carry it in our pocket. So I think that now it's a little bit different because now we're easily accessing information. So I think right now we're kind of getting to a point where extreme is getting a bigger voice. So, we're going to see where it goes, but I think that that's kind of what's happening.
Uh, so what are some of the companies that you guys have worked with, what's the difference between working with a filmmaker directly versus dealing with a film company directly?
Hmm.
I think the biggest difference is the connection. I personally, and everyone is different. I mean, I like working with both, but I do like the connection that you can make with the director. So you have a different conversation with them because they were there. So you get the opportunity to get their take on what they were going for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. So are some of the good? Are they? Have you run across any? Because I mean, every business does, but have you come across some companies that maybe don't have your best interests at heart? And how do you work around that? Or you just do you just ignore them, or just
Well, she makes me be a nice guy. So we kind of like, let's say if a company doesn't want to work with us, gives us attitude or whatever, we're like, okay, well, you have a nice day. Doors always open whenever you're ready if you want to later on in the future. So we leave that like that pretty much. We
We're
don't want to make enemies, and then we're not trying to compete with anyone either. So I want people to know that too. We're just,
we're in our own lane, I think, and
yeah.
and also there's no real point in having like the Twitter fingers beef and we have come across people that maybe weren't what I would call as professional as I would have hoped or as open, which is fine. You don't have to work with everyone and you don't have to like everyone, but I do believe that there should be some form and level of professionalism that sometimes is lacking. But I mean, it's just part of the
It,
industry, part of any business, I
and
guess.
it's mostly the people part. Like you got to know how to be nice, or just know how to talk to people, man. Especially when they want to bring do business with you or something. So you got
exactly.
to know, man. You got to be nice to everybody as it is, but still like just be good to people, man, and others will be good to you. You know. So
exactly. I agree with that. Um, so I'm just curious for your definition, but what is extreme horror to you, Rick? What is it?
um
How would you define extreme horror?
I'd say the extreme would be in the extreme that I like, let me tell you, is the blood, the splatter, the gore, the over the top kills. Say somebody splits a head, throws it on the ground, and stomps on it. Now that's an over the top kill, you know?
Hmm.
Um, that's my extreme. Now there's people that want to throw in the what is the other fetish films and like say Sallow and stuff like that, or the films that are a little bit more let's say more towards like the rapey type. I hate to say that word, but you know, type of movie like I Spit on Your Grave type. You know,
Right.
that's a different than an actual, to me, extreme gore film. It's like here's the movie, Headless, right?
Okay.
Lots of gore, lots of sleaze. It's perfect, you know. And then you've got Sleepaway Camp, which is I consider regular horror, you know, because
Okay.
but it does show the horseman at the end, so it's a little different. So people would say that that was, I don't know, like it's weird. Like I call this regular horror to me. So that is nothing like this. You know that, you know? It's like it's really different, man. So I know I make a lot of people mad with the regular horror comments sometimes, but it is what it is. It's
Yeah, it is
separated
what
now.
it is.
It, it,
It's how
it's
you
separated.
exactly. It's how you see it.
Yeah,
That's
right.
definitely how you see it. I mean, you define it how you see it. I mean, I get that.
It's like A
Uh,
Hundred Tears. A Hundred Tears is an extreme horror movie, and to me, it is just a horror movie. You know, there's a
right.
there's a difference in the films. You know, not just because one's mainstream. Well, yeah, that too. One is mainstream, and the other is underground. You know, and the underground, like I said, they don't give a damn. They're gonna do it. They're gonna show what they want, film what they want, make the movie how they want. You know, and that's how it is. The good old underground.
Do you think it's a concern though? 'Cause, one of the concerns I would think with watching something like that is the fact that here you got your regular horror people and they've gotten too desensitized. Now someone like a Jason or Freddy doesn't scare them anymore. Now it's sort of like comedy, but they're desensitized, so now they need a little bit more extreme. So now they go down to extreme horror.
But
Is there a danger in desensitization? I mean, do you feel like it is?
nah, I mean it goes as far as how much you want to watch, but it's like I'm gonna say like this. It's like scary movies are different from like an extreme movie. Because to me, you know what freaks me out more is that damn that ghost type of movie. Those nasty fucking crazy movies like
Oh, the supernatural horror?
the supernatural stuff, man. I mean, that that's something you can't fight against. You got to be scared of that, you know?
Yeah.
So that's a scary movie to me. Those type of movies, supernatural, those are scary because people always say, "Well, what's the scariest you have?" Well, it's not about scary. I have stuff that'll make you throw up, and I have stuff that'll make you want to change your religion. So it's like how far you want to go, you know, how far you
Right.
want to test yourself, you know.
And The Exorcist is 40 something years old, almost 50 years old, and it's still one of the scariest movies out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, so I mean, that's good though. I mean, it's good that the fact that it's good that you can still watch a movie like that and still have it like come up there and snap you in your ass, because you don't want to just sit there and to me, I think one of the more interesting things would be to watch a movie like that and find that you have no longer having it doesn't provoke any emotion from you at all. I would just think that would be a little bit concerning. I watch just movies have a hard time with. I mean, I have a hard time with movies because every movie that I watch, I have a reaction to it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the last time I watched a movie and just sat there and just stared at the screen like, all right, whatever, and then just get up and walk away. Every movie I have, I have the gamut of the emotions. Like I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm laughing my ass off. I'm scared shitless. You know, that's I don't. I'm just to me, it's like when you watch extreme horror. I'm just concerned. I mean, do you think it's a legitimate concern? I mean, is this something that you're aware of where extreme horror maybe people no longer have all those emotions when they're watching a movie? That the only movie they're watching is to see the extreme.
Well, I've kind of gotten a little like that, but that's why I stay in touch with like the comedies. Like just the other day, what did we watch? Just The Office. I had to go back and watch The Office. I love that type of stuff.
Office is funny as hell.
Yeah, I mean, there's violence everywhere though, but it's like shit. This, yeah, that word. I don't
Um,
know. It's kind of. I guess it could happen maybe to a weak-minded person. Nah, I don't know. I don't know.
so what kind of movies does Underworld Subroxxa carry? I mean, what are some of the titles and some of the distributors that you guys carry?
Oh man, that's a long list. We have where we work. We're building, and for right now, we have directors like Patrick Fortin. We have Remy Kuchar. We have Scott Shermer stuff. We have stuff from Unearthed Films.
Yeah, what's that? I've been seeing a lot of company around lately. Was it underneath ground under Earth Films or
Unearthed Films is like
Earth?
it's pretty they're a well-known underground company,
Yeah,
extreme horror and all that stuff. They have some great titles on their catalog too, man. That's like one of my favorite companies. I guess that would be my boutique company that I really spend money with, you
okay.
know.
So
So
is it safe to say they're like the Arrow of extreme horror,
I would say, yeah.
or IFC Midnight of extreme horror?
You know what? IFC is dope.
Yeah,
Massacre Video is good. Unearthed Films. There's so many, man. Like
that's
it's
right. Check that out, boys and girls. See, Rick recognizes greatness. ISC, he recognizes that, right? You
oh
don't hear
man.
no, you don't hear him talk about no weak ass sauce like A24. Check it.
I don't get it, man. Like, why would they release a 50-year-old movie and sell it for $50 when you can stream it for free? You might catch it on TV for free. Uh,
Mhm.
I mean I don't knock those companies. I respect their hustle, man, for real. Like if shit, that's crazy to me.
Yeah, well, I guess got to keep that run of feud going though, because it's about it's all about me. It's all about the ISC Midnight. I gotta represent them all the time because no one else does it anytime. So, but I like the idea that you're carrying under earth I'm sorry, is it underground or under or
Unearthed
under?
films.
Now is that a U.S. company or
Yeah.
UK company? Okay, okay. So, yeah. So how do people know? How do people know when new things drop on Underworld Subrosa?
Well, mostly Instagram and Facebook. Um uh I used to do a lot of well, I was gonna start doing stuff on YouTube, but YouTube started acting up. I don't know, somebody or something reported us as spam or something. So now every comment that I drop on anybody's video is instantly deleted. So I was gonna do the YouTube, but we do announce stuff on IG and Facebook,
Okay.
and we don't do like updates and that. We just drop. So like I will say it right now though. Friday we're gonna be what is that? That's tomorrow. Tomorrow,
That's
yeah,
right. Friday the 13th, baby.
we have a nice little update happening tomorrow on the site. Tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. So
Um, I'm not sure if I don't know if you and I are on Facebook together. Are we?
We are on Facebook. It's either us only or Underworld Subroxxa.
Okay.
So
So you got a page. You don't have like a personal page.
no.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, well, you know what though, I'll find the Subrosa page, and I'll make sure that I push it in the groups and
You
whatnot.
know what? You can go to the website and there's a link down at the bottom somewhere where you go to the IG or Facebook or YouTube, I think. I'm sure. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
just let me know, and then like people here can like I said, I'll be dropping all the links to Rick's the website and Instagram and the Facebook page. I'll be dropping that all down below. Um, Yeah, man, this has been awesome. I'm going to turn around just for a few minutes, just like 10 more minutes. I'll just turn on to the chat. Chat, I want you guys just to blow up some questions at Rick here. He's going to answer everything that you guys want to ask him within the next 15 minutes, 10 minutes or so. And
One word
above,
answers. One word answers.
yeah, one word answers. And then Rick is going to pick the best question that he likes. And he's going to give a little prize package to whoever asks the best question. So you guys are all on the clock now. Feel free to drop some questions. So, what are some of the up and coming? What kind of actors work in these movies, Rick? I mean, do there any mainstream actors or well-known horror actors? Do they ever do these under extreme horror titles, or are these all underground?
Well, from what I've seen and what I've learned from that part, um, a lot of like say the bigger underground actresses, they stay working around in the underground, like for different directors and stuff. That's what I've seen. And some of them even stay to the same director. They just keep releasing movies, you know?
Hmm.
Like you got a bunch of underground dudes, man. Like what is it? Eric Stans. He released a movie called Scrapbook and Ratline, stuff like that. He uses some of the same actors in all of his movies, and he's an underground dude.
All right,
Um,
we got some questions rolling in now. Let's see. Fairy Dust wants to know, did anyone see the scenes the series on Netflix called Nurse Ratched? That's a little mainstream, right? I mean, the settings extreme. I mean, the One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's a extreme setting for a movie, but I don't know. Can anything be considered extreme horror that would air on a mainstream streaming service?
uh,
I, I've never I've never seen any extreme horror on something like a Netflix
you
or a
know what?
Paramount.
I'm gonna say this. I say back around 2014, Netflix had a lot of stuff on there. Like I got to see for the first time Snowtown Murders on Netflix.
Mm.
Some like some of the more extreme Takashi Miike movies and uh I guess that's another bunny rabbit hole that you go down to on Netflix. Well, back in the day, I don't know, it changed up a whole lot. It's changed a whole lot. So, but yeah,
No,
back in
yeah,
those days, man, you could find some serious stuff on there.
I'm gonna watch that. I got that movie.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. IFC Midnight released it.
it's pretty good.
Yeah. Let's see. If you had an unlimited budget, oh no, he's not a filmmaker, Chadwick. He's a distributor. He finds movies that you make and put out and
But
sells.
hey, but you know what? I'd keep it strictly underground, and I'd go to all of my favorite actors and actresses that I've seen in the underground, and
Hmm.
we'd all have a good goddamn time.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, that's a good question right there. Is there a convention tailor made to extreme films?
You know what? I've heard of some, like say Cinema Wasteland was a big one, but I never got to attend one, and I barely learned about them like maybe a couple of years ago. But they've been in business forever, doing these cons and everything. So I sure wish I could make one of those one day. One day, Underworld Subroxxa will be up there on the list. So
Um, Larry wants to know what's the best of the best for you, Rick. What's your top of the food chain? Is it headless?
Uh, I'd have to say, best of the best out of like the extreme, or just, yeah, I would guess so, right? In the extreme world.
Yeah. What?
Oh man, I'd have to say headless, man. Like for real. Like I'm stuck to it. I'm stuck to it, man. But there are lots of great films. Like I can show you some films in the collection that are pretty great, you know.
You got 10 right by you that you got any movies that you're selling on your website? You got like 10 movies for your
Uh,
website?
from the website, I would have to go to the office and show you the stuff. But hey, does this camera turn around? I can't. I don't see that option to turn this camera around.
I don't know. If you want to go get them, you just put your camera down and go get your go.
Let me check the settings. Uh, uh, uh. Well,
Oh yeah, that's
here we go. Can you see me?
yep, yep. We can see you. Oh wow, yep, there it is.
Okay.
So
So what?
these are the movies that you can currently buy
Oh,
on Rick's site.
I can. Hold on, hold on. Let me show you a few that I do have on the site. But like I
Okay.
said, I'm still in the room. Like,
'Cause we
this
we
is
don't, we don't, we don't make some money here.
this is a Grail Murder Set Pieces director's cut.
Okay.
All right,
So
that's a Grail. That's one that we have on the site. I can show you the Phil Stevens catalog, which we carry Phil Stevens movies. Let me show
okay.
you what ones Phil Stevens is famous for. And we also carry on the site. This is Flowers. It's a Blu-ray, and this one actually it doesn't have any dialogue, but this damn movie is shot so perfect, man. The gore in it is so crazy, and everything is nice. Like this isn't your regular underground extreme horror. This looks like it was shot with $1 million camera.
We're getting some really strong questions here.
Yeah, let's
Um,
let's go with the
the
questions.
all right. Hobbs is asking, you're on an island. You can take one of two movies, headless or skinless. Which do you
Uh,
take?
Headless for sure.
Headless. See. What's the best movie? What's the best movie you've ever seen in your life?
uh,
That's come from Willie Nation.
Willie Nation, what's up, Willie Nation? Oh man, the
Yeah.
best movie I've seen in my life. Wow. Oh, I don't even know, man. Um, shit.
Yeah.
Uh,
Good question, man.
Next question.
Oh, does that mean Willie's going to win the contest?
Oh man, this makes
Man, I
me.
don't know. That might be sort of deep, man.
Yeah, the best movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm gonna tell you, sheesh, that's a tough one. I'm gonna have to go back to that one, so we
Okay.
won't keep everybody waiting. But I'm gonna
Okay.
remember
Hob
you,
wants to
Willie.
know how many copies of Serbian film we end up with by next year. Yeah, I
Uh,
think Serbian film is sort of mainstream now, right? It really is. It's sort of mainstreamish. I don't
yeah,
know. Is it still extreme? I mean, do people still call it extreme, or is it too much in the public's eye now?
yeah. It to me, it's like it's out there already, and I don't know, man. I guess it's kind of mainstream because everybody's talking about it.
Yeah,
Everybody
I think
talks
it's lost
about it.
its punch. I think it's lost its punch.
I don't doubt it if we see a fucking cut version of it somewhere on TV one day.
Let's see. Willie, what do you know about Headless being a good movie? What the hell?
Hey,
Willie's only 11 years old.
hey, Willie has a cool ass collection too,
And
man.
Willie's got he was his. I want to meet his parents, man. His parents must be dope.
Hey,
Yeah,
Willie's fucking hardcore, man, for real. He is
yeah.
hardcore, man.
See, Hobbs mentioned I've been to Wasteland.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's dope, Hobbs. That's dope.
yeah. It's a mix. It's in Cleveland. Okay. Um, see, Phil Lewis. He said, Chadwick's got him on as a Facebook friend.
Phil Stevens.
Yeah, Phil Stevens. All right.
Yeah,
All
he's a
right,
cool dude,
man.
man.
So
He's a
yeah.
cool.
All right. Let me back out because we're frozen here. Let me back out and then we'll come back. One question. Hopefully I don't lose you.
Let me see. Until then, we'll look around the room a little bit.
All right, we're back.
All righty.
There we go. All right, so man, some good questions here, man. Good questions. You might have to come back and read the transcript, Rick, before you decide what to do. Um, you might just let me know who you picked and whatnot, and then so we can give some credit to them. All right, here's another question. Good question from Hobbs. Rick, if you could play a killer in a movie, who would it be? That's a good question.
I think I would be my own killer. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I'd
You
have to
and I,
be
you,
my.
you and I would be good killers, Rick, because think about it. Because we got the ultimate sidekick. You got trauma. I got I got Paladin. You know, remember that movie they had a few years ago called Kiss the Girls? It was about the two serial killers on the other side of the country. One was on the East Coast, one was on the West Coast, and they were
You,
having competition.
you know
That
what? I
could be
never saw
that could
that.
be us.
But yeah, man, like no mask. I don't want no mask because I don't want them to see me coming. You know,
Yeah.
why do I want to wear a mask? Of course, they're gonna be scared. Like I don't want them to see me coming. You know,
Well,
it's a.
they wouldn't because that's the thing. See, our sidekicks, all they would see, they see your cute dog. Oh, your dog is so cute. They bend on over to say hi to trauma, and then bam, it's all over with.
Nah, trauma is too nice, man. I
Oh,
think I'd have to put Max up for the job.
okay. Because
Max is a
I
beast.
used to Cheetah, and so that. Oh, no mask. You couldn't be. You're not allowed to wear a mask.
Yeah,
Well, oh man, I well, I don't know. The guy in Maniac didn't. So,
yeah. Hey, American Psycho was one of the best ones. And
yeah, yeah. Hide in plain sight. That's a really good question. Uh, if you could play a kill, yep. Well, see, you could also just go, or if you really wanted to be fun, you could say, "I'll just be one of those supernatural guys that way I don't get killed."
yeah, let me throw some fucking machetes out of my ass or something. And
Oh shit! All right, so you got your stack of movies there that from the website.
oh, you know what? I hey, you know what? I've been sitting down looking at the chat. Let me
Okay,
see.
cool. Now
Um,
these are the movies that are going to be on the website. So these are movies that are actually for sale. So whatever you see next, if you like what you see, you can go to the Underworld Subroxxa website and pick them up. And these are hard to find. These are not. You just can't walk into your normal flea
Walmart.
market and pick them up.
You can't walk into Walmart and buy that.
No, no.
Yeah, I think it'd be better if I just go downstairs, go to the office. So let me go ahead and do that.
Are you guys running any sort of a special right now? Any is there? Are you going to be doing something special for Halloween? Maybe having a upcoming sale or whatnot?
I'm thinking we are. We talked about it, so I'm pretty sure we will be doing something. So
Okay.
yeah. I'll tell you what, Cheetah, let me get downstairs and I will pop right back on.
Sure. All right, guys. What do you think, man? Are you guys having a good time with this interview? I am. I think it's outstanding. I think Rikk has really educated us quite a bit. I've really enjoyed his knowledge, and him and his wife make a very formidable business team, and that's for sure. You could definitely know this company's on the way up. Um, yeah, that's a good question, Reg, man. You know, that's a really good question. I'm definitely going to ask him that one. Yeah, we'll definitely ask him that. Yep, we could drop links. I'll drop a link to Rick's Instagram page for sure. Right now.
All right, let's see how this goes or how this looks. Maybe um okay, so here goes the little spinning rack.
Okay.
I have some of these titles right here. We're about to list some of this stuff. August Underground Penance, Red Sin Tower, Murder Collection. All of these are from Toe Tag Films from August Underground. We got
films. Oh, that's cute.
Subconscious Cruelty. I have the films from Patrick Fortin, Glorious Productions, Phil Stevens, Long 2, just Flowers. There's Flowers Noir, which is the black and white versions. Let me spin it around a little bit. This is the Snuff.
We actually got a really good question for you from Ragman.
Let's see what it is. Shoot it to me.
Did you see it? Oh, okay. He says, "Do you think child torture in film is too extreme for films? The Korean movie Lady Vengeance has disturbing child scenes."
Well, I'll say it like this, everybody. If I made a movie, an extreme movie, I wouldn't put nothing like that in my film.
So you have limits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody has limits.
Yeah. You have to, man. Like you have to, really, you have to.
You do. I agree with that. Wow, wow. I've seen some more great covers there. You know what, Rikk? Honestly, I think that's the best question.
Yeah.
You think so too? That's a Ragman. Yeah, that's a real good question, man. We like that.
And then we have the Faces of Death. I have a Blue Underground documentary.
Go back? Is that a cat on the cover there? What's that cat doing on the cover?
Oh yeah, it is a little cat back there.
There better be no cat gore in there.
No, I think the cat is an attacker in this one.
Okay.
This is another grail right here. Marion Dora, Melancholy de Angle. This is brand new. I will have that listed tomorrow night.
All right. So we got some new fresh titles out there for you guys. If you wanted to dip your toe into extreme horror, Underworld Subroxxa is the place you. Oh God, holy cow! I can't talk. Trust me. Underworld Subroxxa is the place to go for your needs. I mean, you don't want to go anywhere else. This is it.
Everything is taken care of nicely. You know, we don't treat our we don't just have our products thrown around in boxes or whatnot, so.
That's exactly what it is, Willie. So that's what Rikk does. He sells movies. So if there's something you're there, and though I will have to say this up front, that if Willie wants to buy something, you better make sure you get his parents' permission first.
Definitely. We our site is 18 and up only. Sorry, Willie.
Yeah.
So, if you can get somebody to send us a note or something, we might be able to work the deal. Yeah.
Notarized note. So, sorry about that, buddy. But yeah, man, I'm so excited for this. This has been a lot of fun. I will get Ragman. I'll get your information from you, man. I'm going to pass it on to Rick. That's a really good question, man. That's the best question of the night because you know what? Everybody has to have limitations. You do. I mean, you just can't.
Yeah. I don't care who you are, the
Yeah,
baddest motherfucker that's out there. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. No, you will, motherfucker, when people come down on you.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
so you gotta know when to like. It's all about respect, man. Come on, man. There's boundaries you don't cross. You know, like for
yeah.
real.
I think kids and animals are definitely that. I know that you make those underground crush films, but I also know too that a lot of states have enacted to make those felonies. Get caught with that, you're
Yeah.
going to go down. It's federal time. That's not state time. That's a federal time. So you got to
No.
be careful about being stupid.
Yes, sir.
Uh, all right, I tell you what, Rick, you stayed way up past an hour, so I definitely want. I don't. I definitely want to say thank you for your extra time. Um, Everybody in the chat, man, this has been a lot of fun. Um, and like I said, I'll drop all the links down for Rick. Oh, okay, there he's back. I'll drop everything down in the description box for him. If you want to go pick up some extreme stuff, please do. Rick, man, I can't thank you enough, man. This has just been outstanding. It was better than I had hoped for. I hope everybody in the chat really enjoyed it. Um, and yeah, man, we'll have to do this again. That once you get a little bit bigger, once you
Hey,
get what a little bit.
we appreciate you having us. You know,
Yeah, I appreciate you doing this.
well,
Like I said, as soon as I saw the display, I knew right then and there. I was like, oh, we got to talk. So I'm really grateful for you, everybody in the chat. We will see you Sunday, and again I keep saying this. I don't know what we're doing on Sunday for the midnight hour, but whatever it will be fun. That I can tell you. It might be Hobbs carving up a pumpkin. All right, folks. I want to thank everybody that showed up and support Rick. Please share the video out. If you haven't connected with me on my channel, please do so. Like to have you join on 8 Questions with and Midnight Hour. Me, the Cheetah. We'd love to have you guys join our channel. Connect with each other as you can, and then those who are coming back for the interview series, we will see you next Tuesday for Chris Buckholtz. That's it for us, and we be out of here. Rick, just stay right where you're at, sir.
all righty.